Well, good morning, everyone. How in the world are you doing? Hope you're having a great Monday morning. I am so far, about third or fourth cup of coffee. Pardon me. My name is Don K. Preston. I'm the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. This is what I call my morning musings. Been sharing with you my journey to what is called the full preterist view of prophecy, the view that all prophecy has been fulfilled. I was raised a fifth-generation member of the amillennial view. Now, in my estimation, amillennialism is defined as confused and don't have a clue. That's certainly the way I felt many times when I was an amillennialist. When I read the historical amillennial view, especially in retrospect now, it is certainly absolutely unbiblical. But all of that aside, I began my journey with changing my views on the Olivet Discourse and seeing it as a united discussion of the fall of Jerusalem, the end of the Old Covenant age. Well, that segued into changing my views on Revelation. Now, a little bit of background here about the amillennial view that I was raised in. I was raised believing, this is absolutely fundamental to my fellowship, God was through with Israel at the cross. God left the law of Moses and Israel as a covenant people behind at the cross. Starting on Pentecost, it was all about the church, nothing whatsoever to do with God's continuing fulfillment of His Old Covenant promises to Old Covenant Israel. Now, I've just got to tell you, when I began studying the book of Revelation, one of the things that just jumped off the page to me and at me and just kind of slapped me upside the head was the book of Revelation exudes just covenantal language, just pours out of it. Some scholars say that the book of Revelation contains over 400 direct allusions or citations, and in some instances quotations, from the Old Testament promises made to Old Covenant Israel. Okay, so I had a view of Revelation. Number one, it was written in 95, 98 AD under Domitian about Roman persecution of the church. It was about the fall of Rome in 476 AD, the ultimate destruction of the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope at the so-called end of time. Remember, having nothing to do with God's Old Testament promises made to Old Covenant Israel. Okay, so it hit me like, a white freightliner running over me. If God was through with Israel at the cross, if God left the Mosaic Covenant, the Old Covenant, and Israel as a covenant people behind at the cross, why in the name of reason was John citing and alluding to God's Old Covenant promises made to Old Covenant Israel over 400 times? I mean, after all, if the covenant's dead, and if the covenant people have been now disenfranchised, cut off, divorced already, then all of those old covenant promises are either dead or already fulfilled. Look, folks, this is a huge problem. And you know what? It's an ongoing problem for all three major views of eschatology. I'll probably have more to say about that in upcoming segments. For now, thanks for joining me for my morning's musings here on 10/31/11. We'll see you in the morning. Thanks so much for joining me.